Hello, beautiful people from the internet. It is Connie over here. Today I was just going to chillax by myself. I already had a 2.0% alcohol lemon beer. I don't know, it's really good. I really enjoy this one. A pack of 6 you can get for €2.56. And I think that's a banger personally. And I was gonna have a cigarillo and I was just gonna chill. I have my incense running in the back. I have my cat meowing because she wants attention and pets, which I understand, but I'm going to give it to her very soon. And I'm just gonna be smoking a cigarillo, drinking my beer and having a chat with you guys. Really relaxing type of vibe. End of the day, just to get the start of the night going, if you will. So, window is open, beer is about to be open as well. All right, I didn't want the cap to pop open and just go to the ground. Cheers. It's this one if you're curious, Superboc Green Limão Mini, and it has 2.0% alcohol. And it's really good. It's really lemony and I love it for that. It almost doesn't taste like beer and I think that's what I enjoy about it. So yeah, today I just want to have a very relaxing, chill end of the day type of vibe. I'm gonna be smoking a cigarillo. YouTube, this is a cigarillo. It is not a blunt. It is not weed. It's a cigarillo. I have to say this because for some reason YouTube always thinks that when I'm smoking one of these, I'm smoking weed. And they just demonetize my videos and I'm like, it's fine. It's just that this is not weed, I'm gonna have a signature mini cigarillo, which is this one, this little guy right here. And I'm just gonna be chilling, drinking my beer, talking to you guys. It's gonna be a good time. Let's go. I have some lavender incense running at my window, which is at all times. I always have incense. Look at this. This used to be a soy sauce bottle, but now it's just where I keep all of my incenses, and it's actually pretty nice. It does the job pretty well, and it's always by my window, and I just always have to have incense running. I feel like I smell like incense a lot of the time, and I just love it. It's so relaxing. Watching the smoke and just getting the aromas of the lavender, which is my favorite one, just is so pleasant, Before I started to record, I was actually reading my journal, which is right here, because this journal it says since 2021, but I still have some 2020 entries because between 2020 and 2022, I didn't write too much because I was not even able to figure out what the heck was happening in my brain, and writing was not helping, which is unusual because it usually helps me. So I just kind of gave up. So this journal has been with me since 2020, November of 2020. And I don't know, and I was just reading because it has so many years. I used to be such an angry person, man. I was angry all the time. And it's so interesting to see how I'm much calmer now. Like, I don't get angry as easily, except if I'm on the road. On the road I get really bad road rage just because people are just very bad drivers and I'm scared of them because of that. But I used to be really angry about whatever, about everything, about my circumstances, about the people around me, about, I don't know, everything. I just was angry about everything, and I can be honest, okay? I was not surrounded by the best people at the time, but the anger that I felt was way out of proportion for the situation that I was in, especially in 2020 when, the pandemic, of course, but apart from that, I was living with my dad. I was pretty chill, just staying at home, which I just enjoy doing anyway, I love reading my journal because I always think that I'm not evolving as a person, and I'm not growing, and I'm not getting better at anything. But then I read my past entries, and I'm like, wow, I'm a totally different person in a better way, which is the best case scenario, There's a dog outside, excuse him or her. She's having a blast on her walk-in. because I live in between apartments. Like, so I have this apartment, and right next to my window there's another apartment, and this makes a lot of echo on the street below me, so you can just hear anything. If people are whispering down there, you can hear their conversations because it just echoes through the buildings. It's really insane. So every time I'm down there walking with my dad or something like that, I just am very conscious about what I'm talking about and what I'm saying, because if any neighbor wants to listen, they will. But I don't know, I've been realizing that I have in fact been getting better at a lot of aspects in my life, especially in my personality, which is what's most important to me, because I don't want to be an annoyance to people around me. I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to be a person who's always sad and putting others down because of it, you know, because I feel like for a long time I was, especially in high school. I always say I didn't have friends and whatnot, but then I started to think, you know, was I a pleasant person to be around? I'm not exactly sure. I was always sad, always negative, always angry at something, you know, very irritable, very snappy at people. And so, I mean, I cannot just blame every other thing, every other circumstance, every other person for the fact that I was alone most of the time. Okay. Alrighty, I stopped the video for a little bit because the dog was really going ham in the barking, and I don't want to bother you guys with some annoying background noise, so we are back. But lately, as I was talking about, the work that I've been doing has been me attributing blame to myself where blame is needed, you know. So as I said, I always used to blame every person, like, for the circumstances that I was in. And I used to say I was in a bad friend group and they were just all the worst people possible, and that's why I didn't thrive in high school. But that's not exactly... It's so funny because every time I'm here alone, I don't hear as many dogs. When I try to record a video, it seems like every children in the world comes to play in the park, every dog comes to walk around. It's fine, you know, honestly, there's a pretty cool park behind my, not behind, like below my building, so I understand. Thankfully, I'm smoking a cigarillo because I can light it off and light it back on. I guess with a cigarette as well, but it's just not the same. So I don't even know. I already lost my train of thought. I guess that I've just been realizing that I also am to blame for the circumstances that I was in a lot of the time. You know, I was the one who chose the few people that I wanted to hang out with. I was not very good making choices of what the best people to hang out with were, you know. I often chose people that were very into gossiping about others, and people that were toxic, and people that would do like miss classes and all of that, which is really interesting because I was a straight A student, you know, and I had very good grades. And so I think that maybe I craved the opposite, which was like the rebellion, the going against the rules, I guess. Especially at the end of my 12th grade, when I was absolutely done with studying so much, because I did study a lot, you know, much, how did I say that? I think that I really craved some sort of just revenge against all of the time that I had felt like I lost studying so much and not hanging out with anyone. That in the summer of 2019, which was the summer that I finished high school, I was just like, yeah, I'm done being a good student, a good girl, whatever. I just want to do all the bad things now. I want to hang out with the bad people. I want to smoke. I want to party, which I didn't. I went to one house party. I drank 3 shots of vodka with Coca-Cola. I felt dizzy. I was acting really strange, really weird around people. I was just, I don't know, I was not feeling well, to the point where one of my friends had to start giving me food to make the alcohol kind of lessen the effect so I could be normal again. So overall, it was a pretty interesting time, because I had been such a normal, quiet person up until the end of 12th grade that, as I said, I think that I just became very angry after that, because I just thought I had lost all this time. And I don't know, I felt like time was running out and I was getting closer and closer to the end of my life. I was very catastrophic in my thinking. I always thought that every day was the last day, and I had so much anxiety that I thought that I at any moment would die from anxiety. I didn't know, like, you cannot die from anxiety, I think. I just was really angry at the world, at myself, at the people around me. And that really showed in my entries in my journal, you know. Every entry would just be written with just the worst scribbles saying bad things about everyone and everything, and just I would draw these monsters and say they were my anxiety and they would not leave me alone. And I'm just so glad that I'm so much calmer now. And it took so much work. Like, I'm not even gonna try to sugarcoat it. It took years of trying again and again and again. Every time I was angry at something or irritable, just trying to calm myself down and trying to understand what was making me feel this way, you know. And then as I started realizing that I didn't really have a specific reason, it was just emotions that were probably bottled up inside of me that I needed to work through. Because, you know, everyone has some sort of, not everyone I guess, but a lot of people go through hardships in their childhood and they just bottle it up, you know, because we're all just trying to survive. As kids, maybe we're getting bullied in school, maybe we're having hardships at home with parents that are neglecting us or just treating us bad. All sorts of things. I don't even know. There's people that go through really, really hard things, you know. And so we reach the 18-year-old mark where we are supposed to start making really important choices for ourselves, but we are still dealing with all of these things that we had bottled up, you know. And it's not an easy time. And I didn't have the tools to deal with it, although I had been in therapy for many years. At that point, I still had no tools to deal with my anger, which was the biggest emotion that I was going through at the moment. And I'm just so glad that right now I don't really get angry anymore. I don't get angry at people. I don't get angry at myself because, you know, I think I've become a person who's able to see the other side of things a lot, which I wasn't at all used to doing before. I would just always see only my perspective, and I could never put myself in someone else's shoes and try to understand why they were doing whatever they were doing that was making me angry, you know. Or I was just very angry at myself for being 18 years old and having no clue what to do in life, as if any 18-year-old knows, you know. I guess that I've just been able to work through these things, and now there's probably many other things that are going to start to show up that I need to work through as well, which is awesome. I guess that's the best part of life, in my opinion, is just continuously learning about yourself and the world around you, and just how to become a better person and also calmer. Being calmer is really important to me because I feel like the most important thing in my life is to have peace of mind. And to have peace of mind, you need to be a calm person, you know. You need to be mindful of the things you do, and you need to be respectful towards yourself and towards others. You need to be calm in order to have peace of mind. And I feel like I have achieved that, which I never thought I would, you know. I always thought I would be this angry teenager, which I'm 22, you know, it's no time to be an angry teenager anymore, but if I hadn't worked through the emotions, I would still be one, you know. So I guess these have been my thoughts for the past days, reading my old entries and just realizing how much I have actually evolved as a person, which is one of the best parts about having a journal, in my opinion, is seeing your own progress as a person, seeing the new skills that I have now, even things like doing the Rubik's Cube. I am able to crochet, I know some Japanese, I know some Italian, some Spanish, which I didn't know when I started this journal, you know. I'm calmer, I am more sympathetic, I am more understanding of other people, which were all things that I wasn't when I was 18 to 19 years old. And I'm proud of myself for that, and I need to acknowledge these things. I need to be able to look at myself and congratulate myself for all the good things that I have done, you know, because I haven't just done bad things in my life, but sometimes it's very easy to just think bad things about yourself, at least for me. I don't know about your case, you know, maybe for you it's very easy to think good things about yourself. And if you are like that, awesome, you are on the right path, I think. Of course, this is just my perspective and my view on things, which doesn't mean it is correct. It's just the one that has been bringing me the most peace of mind, I guess. I'm happy with it, you know? I've been evolving and growing, and I appreciate that about myself. I have to acknowledge and recognize it, and I am just now And yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this mess of a video. It was a little bit chaotic at the beginning with the dogs, but it's fine, you know, they are there. We need to acknowledge them as well, I guess. So I hope you had a great day. I hope you continue to have one. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say, I guess. Bye!